So I'm gonna go right into it because I don't want to take too much of your time up. But this I'm going to be working out of. This is the double decker. It holds like, gosh, 18 singles of these big tins. So I love this. I kind of have more of an addiction now. I've built up all of my tins, and so I probably won't dip into every single one of these tonight, but I keep this in my purse with my clutch as well. So I'm gonna dip into my first highlight color, and if you hop on, go ahead and say hi and who your hostess is or where you're watching from or stuff like that. So I'm gonna dip into my main highlight color, which right now is amber. I did a little bit of like tanning drops this week to kind of warm up my skin. So amber is my color choice, and I'm gonna get in real close so you guys can see this a bit better, and that's better. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start kind of covering this acne area on my chin and give a little bit more attention to those spots, and then just dab it on and start kind of pressing it into my skin. I'm not doing swipes. I mean, you definitely can, but I have kind of textured skin. I had acne for a while, and so I like getting it into all of my little scar divots, and I just feel like it looks really good when it's pressed into the skin. Hi, Shauna. I sent you a message about your color match. I got it. And I just had a question about your highlight color and what you're currently using, because I saw you've ordered a lot of them in the past. So, hey, Tori. So as you can see, this is offering pretty good coverage as far as the redness that I had peeking through. My skin is a little bit naturally red, and I feel like this gives pretty good coverage, even with just a very thin layer. Hi, Danielle. Okay, so I'm not making it perfect quite yet. We're going to do some blending, and so I'm not worrying about like absolute perfection. And then I just kind of take whatever's left on my brush and I just kind of blend it down, especially in the winter. Most people, their face and their neck are a little bit different colors, whether you use a lot of sunscreen on your face and your chest is deeper, or maybe your face tans a little bit easier than your chest and your neck is whiter. So I don't like covering my neck and chest with makeup, but I do just bring my highlight down a little bit. Yeah, just let me know whenever you get a chance and we'll figure it out. Hello to my husband watching from the next room. Okay, so that is our first highlight color. We're gonna let that sit, and we're actually gonna let it just kind of warm up on our skin. This cream makeup actually has a base of lanolin and beeswax, and so it works really nice with your skin temperature to kind of warm up. So I'm gonna give it the second to warm up to my skin temperature, and then I'm gonna go in with my contour color, and I'm gonna show you guys just so you can see and not be nervous about our contours. This is one of our deeper contours. It's called Indigo. And as you can see, it's a whole heck of a lot darker than my skin tone. But this is kind of the magic of mascara. What you see in the tin is not necessarily what you get, and that's why filling out the color match form is really important, because you might not just order online what you think your color is based off of the pictures, because it just doesn't work like that. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll dip into Indigo, and this is where we're gonna try to create shadows on our face. So our contours are gray based, not brown based. Bella bronzer and Cayman bronzer, those are brown based bronzers, but these are gray based, and so we're creating shadows where we want to kind of sculpt our face out a little bit. And I do that. I find my ear, and usually if you draw like a diagonal arrow, you can find the hollow of your cheek. I feel the bone, and now this is where I feel the hollow. And I'm going to just kind of create like a little line, and I do just the slight curve that way. And then same for this side. And again, we're letting the contour kind of warm up on our skin as well. And then I have a decent sized forehead. I've got a lot of mileage right here. And so depending on your face shape, if you have a shorter, smaller forehead, you can just do the contour on the sides like this. If you have a longer forehead like me, then you can actually bring it all the way around your hairline. And this is going to kind of create more definition, definitely more warmth, but it's gonna kind of shorten my forehead a little bit, which, hey, why not? So put that right there. I'm gonna just take the remnants of this because I don't want it too dark, but I'm gonna, let's see if you can see it. I'm gonna sculpt out my jaw, and this will give also a lot more definition to my face. I have one of those profiles where my jaw is not super defined when you look at me out sideways, and so I love doing this because it just really defines the jaw, neck. And then I'm gonna go just on the tip right here, and this is magic. I'm gonna just put this on the sides of my nose. Hi, Kimberly. And it's going to define my nose a little bit. As you can see, I haven't even blended it all the way, but my nose appears a lot thinner and more narrow than it did just a second ago. And we're just using light as kind of playing a trick on our eyes by creating a shadow here, and then we're gonna actually create some brightness right here, and you'll see the difference. Kimberly, I hope you got the color match I sent you. Let me know if you didn't get it, and I can resend it. So make sure you send in your color matches. Tomorrow morning is gonna be another great opportunity. When you wake up, when the light is fresh, morning light, just stand in front of a natural light window and snap one. You can just send me the straight picture like in a DM if that's all you have time for, but I do have a really short form that you can fill out, and that will give me an idea of like what color blushes you like, eyeshadows, how much makeup you wear if you're a makeup person, and so I can kind of go a little bit more in depth with my recommendations. But either way, send me in those pictures. That'll get you some more entries to the giveaway, and it'll be really fun. Okay, so now I'm gonna start working this contour color and making it a lot more defined. And I'm gonna reference my mirror too, so I can kind of see a little bit better, because the phone isn't the best. And I'm kind of working these colors together, so now it doesn't look so stark of a contrast. It feels like it's just blended together. And the reason why this makeup is so different than other makeup is when you take like a liquid foundation, for instance, and you just slather it on and you put it on your skin. People's skin isn't one color, but our foundation is one color. So then you kind of look washed out. You got to add some bronzer, you got to add some blush, or you got to do something to now break it up. I mean, have you ever taken a picture with only foundation on? It kind of looks a little ghostly a little bit, because that's not how our skin naturally looks. Our skin has definition. It changes color depending on where we get sun. And so we're really just mimicking the way our skin is supposed to look without makeup. But we're like putting a filter kind of on our natural skin and just really blending out any imperfections, and it ends up looking really, really, really nice. So again, I'm not going to completely blend this out because I am going to come in with our perfector sponge and kind of finish out the job. But I've got this mostly blended, and as you can see, I don't look as crazy even with just these two steps. My cheekbones look a lot more defined, and it already is looking very glowy, which this makeup is amazing at looking very dewy and glowy. If that's not your thing, I think dewy and glowy makeup is beautiful because it just looks very young and fresh. but you can always put our pressed powder, vanilla dust, or your favorite loose powder, and it's gonna look just as good if you like the matte look. So I'm gonna come in now with my second highlight, Aura, and this highlight is going to bring a lot of brightness to our face. We used our first highlight color for me, Amber, to hide some of that acne spots. It did a good job of just mimicking my natural skin tone. Come over here and hide that zit. But Aura is gonna actually act like a spotlight to our face. So I'll show you, when I turn up my light right here, what brightens up? Like, I know this is really obnoxious, but what brightens up? Right under my eyes, right in the center of my forehead, down my nose, and in the middle of my chin. When light reflects on our face, that's where it brightens up. And so we're gonna again mimic this with our foundation, and it won't look like the Tin Man. So I will go in now with, again, still my Buffy brush. That's what I've been using this whole time. If you get one brush, I suggest this one to start off with. And I'm gonna start pressing it, and as you can see, it's a little bit lighter than my skin, and that's okay, that's what we want. So I'm gonna press it right under my eye, kind of like in an inverted triangle, and come up right under my nose, or not under my nose, but like against the bridge of my nose. And again, like pizza slices, a little bit in the center of my forehead, like this. We'll do a little bit on my chin, just again where that light brightened up our face. And then I'm gonna take my finger and place it just down my nose. And then you really get that definition that we were talking about with the contour. So I'll turn this brush around, and again, I'll just start tapping this in. And this is where we really get more of that like 3D look. I'll reference my mirror over here. Sorry if you can hear my dogs. They are wild, if you know my dogs. If you are in Arizona, tell me if you guys got hail today, because there was hail like all throughout the valley, and it always misses our house. But I saw it like on all my friends' news feeds. Okay, so next, Madison's like, what are you doing? Next, we're gonna add our blush. Sometimes I get people saying that they're really not a blush person. I implore you to at least try it, or try our blushes. They bring so much to your face. And so I'm gonna do just one side so you can kind of see the difference. I'm gonna go in, what do you think? What should I use? I'm gonna go in with like a really bright cherry blush. Again, our tins are misleading, so if you see a blush that looks super bright and you think I could never pull that off, just try it. They blend out very, very, very nice. And you can always add more or blend it away if it's too pigmented, but they add a lot. So I'm going to apply this one. This one is Pink Grapefruit, and I'm gonna start right here and then just kind of press it up, that, and then I'm gonna flip this brush. This is the B Squared brush. This one comes in a bundle with Bella Bronzer, which we'll put on too, and it's a really good deal. The Buffy brush and this brush are my go-to every day. I use them every time I put makeup on, and between the two of them, you can do your whole face. So I'm gonna flip it over and then kind of start buffing this out. And you can see already it's not near as pink, but it just starts looking really like a nice pretty flush. So already you can see that it just adds a little bit more color to our skin. This side still looks nice, but it just adds kind of a little something more interesting. And I think our blushes are really really nice and can be very subtle if you're not a blush person. Perfect. So as you know, our blushes are not just blush, they are lip and cheek colors. And so because cream is very versatile, everything we've used so far is a cream product, they can go directly on your lips. So I'm gonna actually line my lips with the same contour that we used, which was indigo. I'm gonna just reference my mirror so I don't mess up. And you're thinking, holy cow, this looks crazy. But we will fix it. So I just lined with indigo right here. I love indigo because I use it as a lip liner, because I use it as a contour. Sometimes I'll use it in my brows. I did my brows beforehand actually with this brush, the Hotline brush, just so I wouldn't bore you guys. I use the color Cola today, but indigo is a good color too for brows. And then I'm gonna fill it, my lips, with this color too. This color is called Plum, and it's a really nice neutral kind of purple color. And just go right on top of it. Underneath my lips, I used our lip conditioner. I'm actually doing a giveaway for the lip conditioner right now in my beauty group. So if you guys took advantage of joining that, go for it. You can check out the post on how to win that. But it just kind of conditions your lips. They're really dry for me in the summer or in the winter. So as you can see, these two colors are kind of starting to blend together and they're not looking as crazy. And I'm gonna just kind of clean it up. You can clean it up with your foundation brush. And now it's just like a really nice neutral lip. If you want, you can actually blend multiple colors together. And so the color that I actually used on my cheeks, pink grapefruit, I've been liking to add it to Plum to kind of lighten it up, and so it doesn't look as moody, I guess. And so I'm placing it just on top. And now it's this just really kind of lilac color, which I think is really fun. Okay, so now we've got everything kind of set. I'm going to add Bella bronzer. So that's right here. This one is a bronzer, not a contour, even though it's dark. It looks just like this. And what I typically do is use my fluffy side of my B-square brush, and I just kind of coat it. And then I put it where you would naturally get tan first. So I put it top of forehead, top of cheekbones, like this, and I kind of sweep it over just a little bit because I do get really tan and freckly over here, but I'm making sure not to like muddy under my eyes because I still want to keep that bright area open. And then kind of bottom of my chin. And then I like to blend it down my neck too, just so I feel like everything is looking really seamless. And because my chest is really white right now. Okay. So last but not least, we have our illuminators. And those are our kind of glowy, shimmery colors. They're not glitter, they are shimmer. It's very finely milled shimmer, and so you're not gonna get like the super glittery look with especially our creams. Our pressed illuminator powders are definitely more of a shimmer, but again, it's not thick glitter, so don't think glitter, think shimmer. And you can apply this a couple different ways. You can put it on your finger and kind of touch these spots. I always do it where you kind of light up again when you turn on this light super powered. I'm gonna avoid under my eyes and right here, but I am gonna hit it at the top of my cheekbones. And as you can see, that's already adding like a really pretty glow. You can put it right on your perfector also and start tapping it in. And this just adds kind of that like final touch of your face just sort of lighting up a little bit. I put it right above my brow bone. You see where the light's naturally reflecting? That's where we're just gonna kind of enhance it. I put it also right under my brow bone. And a little bit on my chin, and then just straight down my nose, just really lightly. You don't have to use a lot of this at all. A little goes a super, super long way. The baby is awake and not happy. Okay, so how natural does this look? I mean, this is simple. This would take me 5 minutes if I wasn't explaining all the steps. And so we're gonna just seal it all up with our stay spray. The bottles don't look like this anymore. This was our old packaging. They're super pretty now, and you can get it in SPF and non-SPF, which is really nice. So I just shake this up and do like a nice coat on my face. It is supposed to be like pretty wet, so everything seals in. And then I just start pressing with my perfector sponge. This really does make a big difference on the finish. And this is just gonna continually blend everything together. It's gonna remove any extra product, but you definitely wanna start with this damp. Not wet, but damp. And I do that by running it under water and then squeezing it out, and then drying it with like a towel or a paper towel. And so it is definitely damp, and it's about twice the size it is when it's dry. But if it's too wet, it'll take off makeup. This is just gonna remove makeup that was just in excess. It's that easy. So I just feel like this makeup makes you feel really put together with minimal effort. My skin is super glowy. You can't really see those blemishes that I had before this video started. It gives excellent coverage. It's good for dry skin. You definitely can wear cream makeup even if you have oily skin. I just might add a pressed powder at the end. But I love it. So I started no primer. I actually just started with my Milk Moisturizer. And I use this as my primer because I'm kind of dry and I just feel like my foundation goes on really smooth when I use this. If you're oily, you would probably want to let this soak in for maybe 15-20 minutes before you go in with your foundation. So this is, again, the final product. If you still want some color match help, go ahead. I'll post the link again when I get off. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me and ask your hostess that invited you. But it was really fun hanging out with you guys. We've got some more posts tomorrow, and then we'll just kind of wrap everything up. And so if you are wanting to order anything for yourself or for upcoming Christmas gifts, just know that me and my family so appreciate your support. This is why I can stay home with my son. And this has just been my source of income for the last year and a half. So we just so appreciate you guys doing that. And there'll be some other posts tomorrow on things you can order without even getting a color match. So it's, yeah, super fun. Ask your hostess for her direct link. That way she gets credit for it. Or you can ask me. I have all their direct links to order. Our hostesses are kind of actually battling each other to see who ends up selling the most at the end of this week, because they're gonna get some cool stuff from me aside from their rewards too. So I might hop on here once or twice more tomorrow just to wrap things up. But thanks for spending your evening with me and watching this video. I hope it was helpful and fun and gives you some confidence in a new way to do your makeup that ends up looking very nice and put together and natural all at the same time. So yeah, I think that's all I've got, but hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday, and tag me or your artist below if you have anything you want to ask, or if you're watching the replay. I'll still reply to everything. So, all right, have a great night.